Good evening, friends, and welcome back to the channel and a brand new live stream. I'm glad, guys, you are here because the story we are talking and diving today isn't just another political headline, or it isn't celebrity gossip, and isn't something you can scroll past without thinking. This can affect the real families, real newborn babies, and potentially the entire public health landscape in America. We are talking about the stunning decision by the CDC's Vaccine Advisory Panel to roll back the long-standing recommendation that every newborn receive the hepatitis B vaccine within 24 hours of birth. It's a change that goes against the decades of scientific evidence. It has doctors deeply worried and it places expecting parents in a very uncertain position. This was not a small tweak. This was a complete reversal of one of the most reliable evidence based newborn protections in modern medicine. And the debate behind this decision, hated, confusing, and full of misinformation, and driven by a newly reshaped community that has already been under scrutiny for its vaccine skepticism. So tonight we are going to unpack what happened inside this meeting, why experts are calling the rollback dangerous, and what this means for your newborn baby if you are an expecting parent, and why the scientific community is deeply alarmed at the direction this CDC is talking about. So guys, settle in. This is one live stream you absolutely need to hear from start to finish. So here is the main story. Let's start with what actually happened. For decades, the guidance from the CDC has been simple, consistent, and backed by the overwhelming scientific data that every newborn should receive the first dose of hepatitis B vaccine within the first 24 hours of his birth. Why? Because hepatitis B is an incurable infection. If a baby gets it during the birth or early in life, there is a very high chance in the infection becomes chronic. Chronic hepatitis B means lifelong liver damage, cirrhosis, liver cancer, and even death. The data doesn't lie. After the universal newborn vaccine recommendation that began in 1991, hepatitis B infections in children plummeted by 99%. Millions of infections were prevented. Almost a million hospitalizations were avoided. It is one of the biggest success story in modern vaccination. And then comes this week's decision, a complete reversal. The advisory panel, recently reshaped by the Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., voted to say that if the mother tests negative for hepatitis B, the parents can choose to skip the birth dose and wait until the baby is at least 2 months old. Three members voted against the change. The rest pushed it through. But here is where it gets even more concerning that many of the panel members expressed doubts about vaccinating newborns during a sensitive period for brain and immune development, despite the fact that scientists have decades of misinformation. Even public health leaders, pediatricians, infectious disease specialists, they all pleaded with the panel to keep the current recommendation in place. But nothing happened. And new community pushed ahead, and now the final decision is in the hands of acting CDC Director Jim Neal, who does not have a medical background. This is where the public health word hits the emergency brakes. So, guys, what this means for the expecting parents. If you are a pregnant mother planning to get pregnant, or you are close to someone who is, here is the very real impact of this move. First of all, not all pregnant women get properly tested for hepatitis B. Even when they do, mistakes happen. Samples are mislabeled, results are delayed, medical histories are misreported. Secondly, the birth dose is the only guaranteed protection for a newborn against hepatitis. It's like an insurance policy. Even if the mother is truly negative, the baby may still encounter the virus early in life through another family member, a caregiver, or a medical procedure. And third, delaying the vaccine until 2 months give hepatitis B a window, a very real opportunity to infect a newborn with no ability to fight it. And without that early protection, the newborn has one of the highest risk of developing chronic lifelong infection. This isn't a theory, guys, this is proven, which is why doctors across the country are outraged. Now, why experts call this rollback dangerous? So, according to American Academy of Pediatrics, the American College of Physicians, the Hepatitis B Foundation, all of they came out strongly against the vote. They called it unsafe, unnecessary, and based on a speculation rather than the data. The panel did not present any evidence that the newborn dose is harmful. Not a single case study, not a single data set, nothing. But there was plenty of evidence showing that delaying the birth dose has consequences. That is why experts are using words like dangerous, confusing, and harmful. They worry that more newborns will miss the vaccine altogether. More parents will be confused and afraid, and more babies will be left unprotected, and most likely hepatitis B infection rates could begin rising again after decades of decline. In fact, history shows that when recommendations begin becomes confusing, vaccination rates drop automatically. So, guys, what this means for the newborn babies? This is the heart of the issue. A newborn's immune system is vulnerable. If they get hepatitis B early in life, there is up to a 90% chance that the infection becomes chronic. Chronic hepatitis B isn't like getting the flu, it doesn't go away. It stays for life, silently damaging the liver until one day the damage is irreversible. That is exactly what the universal birth dose was designed to prevent. And delaying the vaccine gives the virus an opportunity, and viruses don't need big windows. Even a small chance is enough. This rollback essentially takes one of the safest shields for newborns and places it behind a wall of confusion, fear, and misinformation. Now, this is not a medical decision, it is happening in the political environment, deeply influenced by vaccine skepticism. President Trump publicly praised the panel's decision. He said the vast majority of babies are at no risk. He also announced a fast track review of the entire childhood vaccine schedule. Robert Kennedy Jr., who fired the old advisory committee and replaced it with a more vaccine skeptic members, has long promoted debunked theories linking vaccine to autism, claims disproven by decades of global research. So this isn't just about hepatitis B, this is about how vaccine policy in America is being reshaped. And newborns who cannot speak, cannot decide, and cannot protect themselves are becoming the ones who will bear the consequences. So, guys, this is a major turning point for public health, and every parent, every doctor, every policy maker needs to pay attention. What happened this week wasn't just a recommendation change, it was a shift away from scientific consensus, away from decades of proven success, and towards a more uncertain, more confusing, and potentially more dangerous system for newborns. If you are an expecting parent, talk to your pediatrician. Ask questions, get reliable information. And remember, every expert organization still recommends the hepatitis B birth dose, regardless of the mother's status. This story is far from over, and we will be continue to follow it closely. Thank you for being here tonight, guys. Stay informed, stay aware, and take care of the ones who depend on you most. And keep promoting, sharing this video so that it goes to the panel community and also to the decision makers and CDC panel so that they are aware about the dangers and consequences of this rollback, and hope likely they revert back their decision. If you like this video, kindly give it a thumbs up and also let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think on this recent decision or rollback of hepatitis B vaccine? And let me know, are you an expecting parent, or how you are dealing with this situation if you are expecting a baby in the coming time. Also, keep subscribing to this channel for amazing daily breakdowns of such critical issues. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next live stream.